Damn!
There you go. Ready to rip, Chip. The Ninja 500R is alive. Sounds really healthy now. I ran some seafoam through it. She liked that seafoam for sure. Definitely cleaned out a lot of the system. I've got the idle turned up a little high right now. Intentionally. I still need to figure out what's going on with the headlight. But, well, starts up great. No choke on, nothing. She's ready to rip. Welcome back. I told you guys we had a bit of a clutch problem, and I just wanted to show you something here. So I was curious if the clutch was disengaging, and I can see now what's happening. If you guys can look inside there, that's me pulling on the clutch. The clutch is disengaging fully, but the plates are all stuck together. They're not releasing with it. So I can see there's rust on the plates. So what I'm going to do is pull this cover off and pull the springs off and loosen all the plates up, and then we'll shove them back in again, and something tells me it'll be just fine after that. I was going to put a whole new clutch on, but it's so rare for these clutches to give out on these things. Like, there's basically almost no fix-it videos on Ninja 500Rs because they're just such reliable, bulletproof machines. So yeah, let's pull that cover off on the side there. I got to disconnect the clutch again. Let's pull that cover off on the side and pop this thing out and see what's going on with those plates. Looks like a bunch of 8mm bolts all the way around. Let me get the clutch disconnected first, the cable, and then we'll go from there. So give me one sec here, guys. Alright guys, first thing we got to do is drain the oil. I can see through the looking glass right here, so I know that if there's oil down here in this looking glass, that obviously if I take this cover off, oil's going to come out. So I may as well just drain the oil. I cleaned my oil pan so that I can put it back in there when I'm done. I think this bike might have had too much oil in it. That seems like a lot of oil for this bike. Huh. Let's see here. Oh, let's see if we can get this off without having to take the whole system apart. That would be a major plus. There. There we go. Pretty hard to do sitting down, but whatever. Alright, move it this way. And just keep pulling. It should pull right out. There it is. We'll set my oil rag down here. Set that on top of the rag. Alright, let's undo some 8 mils here. I'm going to try to do this as clean as possible without breaking the gasket. Alright, here's a little secret for you. Put all these back in a couple turns. That way they don't come out. When I say don't come out, I'll show you why in a sec. You want to make sure all these maintain the same sequence going back in, and to ensure that happens, when you go to take off this case, which most likely is going to be on here really hard like this one is, you're going to get all the gunk and goo and everything out that you can to make sure it's not going to go in the gear package. And then we're going to go grab the rubber mallet and we're going to smack this thing until it breaks free. But obviously we don't want it to pop off there really hard. So, and then throw all the bolts and nuts and screws and all that work you guys just did, trying to keep them in order by fucking them all up. So we'll grab another oil pan just to put underneath there. Let's escalate this a little bit. Drop this down in there and use the clutch plates to pull on it slightly. See if we can get the case to break forward. There it is. The bottom's still a little stuck. Just a little. Oh, that would be why. I missed one bolt, so I got her loose. There we go. You gotta break it free. So now it should pop off. There it is. So pull them all the way to the end of the bolts almost. There we go. And there we go. You just set all those right there like that. Okay, any oil that drips down will just drip down into the oil pan. So, here we are. Looks pretty good inside of there, except like I said, I can see all the rust. So when I open this clutch, which I can't do right now because it would require me to pull this out, which I don't have the power to do. I should be able to open those plates up. So let's see how they're positioned right now. It's still a little bit warm, but let's take these off of here. I believe it's a size 10 or 12. Looks like maybe a 10. Ah. Yeah. All right, should be able to, yeah, look at that. They're all locked together. Oh my goodness, they're all stuck together. Okay, well, just for future reference, plates should not all stick together like this and come out. That's not good. That's bad. So I just need to look at my orientation and make sure I'm not missing anything. And then I can pop all these out of here. So let's let's do that. I don't want to lose what goes first where. So all these should not be sticking together like this. Sticking together is stuck. That's really stuck. So these are not supposed to be stuck together like this. These should all move. There we go. Oh my goodness, these are all stuck together. Yep, very sticky. Okay. Get back in there, plate. Ah. Holy cow. So now we know why it was binding. These have been sitting so long there was no oil in them. So what I'm going to do, guys, is actually dip these. I'm going to open all these up and dip them in the old oil and get a bunch of oil on these because these are all seized together and they shouldn't be. And slide these back in. So we need to re-oil these pretty bad. So we're gonna do each one individually here. I don't care how much oil I get on myself. So we're gonna do this together in order. All right, so let's get some fresh oil on these. There we go. Let it drip, and then we'll individually put each one back on in order. Now you can put your springs back on, and that should solve our problem. Hope that helped you guys learn something today. That's what we call a frozen clutch, and that normally happens from sitting long periods of time. This bike sat for a long time and didn't move, so the clutch froze up and needed to be re-oiled properly. So because they were all stuck together and the oil had dried like that, the plates weren't splitting apart to allow new oil in because the clutch wasn't being used, and so they froze into place. So what would happen is you put it in gear and the tire would constantly just keep spinning and wouldn't disengage. Kind of a dangerous scenario to find yourself in, to be honest. Put this thing back up there carefully. We don't want to ruin the gasket at all. We want all of this to go in exactly how it should. Okay. Okay. Damn, man, I'm still really mad about that spring and that bolt head snapping off. That's super rare that that happens. Cheap bolts. Most likely this got a Chinese clutch at some point, and that's pretty much what happened. So, oh fucking well, right? Shit happens. Drop this back in, make sure that piece is angled out away from you. That should drop right in. There it is. Lock around the clutch head. And now comes the fun part again, putting this bullshit back on here. And then we pull this back out. Lock it into place about right there. Now what we don't want tension on this, so we want this to be loose. So I want to make sure there's play. We don't want too much tension on this at all. So we're going to take it out until we see that this doesn't have tension on it. I'll keep backing this off until I see that it's loose. Loose is good. That's what we want. There we go. Alright, so that's where you lock it in at now. So now that we found our tension point, we lock down one side of it. So you want this to have just a small amount of play. You want that to be able to wiggle back and forth freely. If not, it's engaging the clutch, which is not a good thing. So now we tighten it down. Go this way with that one. Like so. Then we hold it in place and we lock them against each other. See if it'll stay on there. I really need you to stay on there. What's your deal? Can't, huh? Okay. There we go. Make sure there's play. Beautiful. I should be able to activate the clutch like so. Beautiful. Now we'll add the oil back to the bike. Clean that off. Nope. Let's put this back on there. Clean that off first. That's gross. Don't need that. Messing up my gaskets. Okay. Alright. Pop that back on there. There we go. Let's see if we solved our clutch problem here. It's still warming up right now, but I should be able to put it in gear. So what was happening prior to this is that I would pull the clutch in, and every time you pull the clutch in, it should still kick because it's going into gear, but I should be able to physically pull the clutch and the bike should basically stop if I put my foot on it. You know, the bike's still not warmed up yet. It's still very cold, but it's warm enough for us to do what we're gonna do here. So I'm pulling the clutch now. Clutch feels really nice. It feels very simple. I'll put it in gear. There we go. And as you can see, the back tire is not moving, but as soon as I let the clutch out, there goes the back tire. Pull in the clutch, it stops moving. Before, it would not do that. It just stayed engaged. So, back to neutral. Seems to be working. We pull it back in again. We'll go up to second. I think it has to be moving to go into second. So, yeah, anyways, first gear down, feels solid, goes in and out real easy. Clutch in, first gear, let it bow, bike starts moving, pull in the clutch, second gear, clutch out, second gear just went in easily. Clutch in, back tire stops moving, kick it down once, neutral. We got our clutch back. So there you go. This bike's just needs the seat redone and tires and a battery, and she's done.
Are you sure this is okay?
You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay?
All right.